Derek over here. First off, you stopped a shot in the third period last night. Looked like you really took a lot of that shot. How were you feeling when you got off the ice and got back on?
Yeah, it was a bit of a stinger at first, but it settled down pretty quickly, and it's all good now, so, yep.
Do you like the 11 and 7 format with only 11 forwards and 7 defensemen?
Do I like it?
Yes.
To be honest, I haven't been ran in that situation very often until Woody came aboard, so not too familiar with it. I don't mind it. It seems like it gets everybody involved a little more than, say, running 4 full lines. That being said, I think there's a little bit of lack of rhythm and who you're playing with, so I don't love that. But all in all, I think it's good to get everybody involved and contributing.
More of a concern for the 7 defensemen, probably fitting enough ice time for some of those people if there's no power plays and such?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Obviously, I don't get to pay attention to that part of it too much, but I would imagine it's a little harder on them to get everybody involved, yeah.
Colorado tomorrow night, the 2 games you played against, some tremendous games, 1 overtime, 1 shootout. What's the expectation level, and what have you enjoyed playing them in those 2 games?
Yeah, I expect another high-level game, and we have to bring our best to compete with them, and we know that, and it's a good challenge for us. I think we've been playing some pretty good hockey lately, so it's a good challenge for us to put that on the ice against the best team in the league and be able to do that on a consistent basis. And obviously the last 2 times we played them, we've done that, but it's being able to do it over and over again. That's what it takes to be successful in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Derek, can you kind of take us through your goal last night? I mean, did you think McLeod's shot was going to flutter in after it got partially blocked?
Yeah, so we'll have to jog my foggy memory here a little bit, but I think Cass got in on the forecheck. He was physical. Their D tried to get behind the net. I was able to bump the puck off of him. I centered it into the middle. I thought he was open, but I think he might have had some contention there. And then it went out to Tice. Tice got a shot on, kind of bounced around. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Clowder's shot there, if he just fanned on it or if it hit a stick or whatnot. But, yeah, hit the crossbar, I'm pretty sure, and then obviously just had a tight angle shot, tried to get it on net and put it in.
So when you're shooting from that angle, I'm just wondering what you saw, because Wedgwood wasn't there initially, and I'm sure it's exciting to see a mostly open net, but,
yeah.
But like you said, the angle wasn't like how difficult was that shot?
Yeah, I saw that he wasn't there right away, so I wasn't worried about, necessarily getting it up as high as I needed to. I just wanted to get it on net as fast as possible with him being out of position. And obviously tight angle, yeah, so just trying to get it between the pipes there.
Thanks.
Back to Colorado. You guys have beat a lot of good teams. I think the time has passed here when we look at a game against Colorado and say, oh boy, we're really going to prove something to ourselves if we beat the Avalanche, right? However, that is a team you've played twice, played hard, played well, and haven't beat. Is there something in, closing that deal at least once here at the end of the season?
Not really. I don't think so. I don't think that's part of our thought process. Our thought process is there's 2 points on the line. We need that for playoff situations, for home ice advantage, whatever you want to call it. Mentally going into a playoff series, if we end up matching up against them eventually, not having won a game, maybe, I guess, but there's situations where I think Edmonton last year beat Winnipeg quite often and then they got swept in the playoffs. So regular season and playoffs are a completely different beast. Doesn't really matter, doesn't factor into our thought process. I think it's just wanting to make sure, for me anyways, I think it's more of being able to put our best game on the ice consistently. And, I think we've done that, some really big wins lately in Nashville, home Vegas, home Dallas, and now home against Colorado. Those are some big games against teams that are really good, either fighting for their lives or top of the standings like Colorado. And so being able to put our best game on the ice every night.
So there's a lot of, everyone's noticing that this club is playing a sort of a more sound game. The highs aren't as high and all that stuff. Give up a lead last night, it's not time to be panicky and fragile. You just keep playing hockey. Can you kind of put into words, sort of from a player's perspective, when you hear the word sound, used to describe your team, what are we talking about? What do you think it means?
Structured, detailed, Not rattled by things like you just mentioned, giving up leads. I think Jay's done a great job, and I've spoken to it a little bit. I'm sure other guys have as well, in implementing a lot more detail in our game. And it seems like such a vague word. I could probably talk up here for half an hour about it, but the detail in our D-zone exits, our D-zone coverage, our neutral zone forecheck, for sure our O-zone forecheck, that's a big part of our game, especially my line, is being hard and heavy on the O-zone forecheck. Just every little facet of the game. Face-offs we've put a heavier emphasis on face-offs, how we're executing offensive zone face-offs, trying to create offense, how we're trying to get out of our own zone defensively and D-zone face-offs. Just every little detail in the game that's huge at the NHL level, and especially huge as you come down the stretch and play in the playoffs. Those details can, win or lose you games. And I think that our team's gotten immeasurably better in all those little areas.
Can I ask you about Cale Makar? You've played against some obviously gifted defensemen. What makes him more special, perhaps, than other defensemen?
Yeah, I played against him in that Colorado-Calgary series. He was just coming into the league, and as a young guy coming into the league, jumping into a playoff series that was, a pretty tightly contested playoff series, and he jumped in and had a really high impact right away. Is pretty impressive. To answer your question, I mean, he has everything, I guess, checks all the boxes. I think probably his biggest attribute is how shifty he is. He gets the puck on the blue line, and there's a lot of defensemen in the league that you can kind of contain out there and know they're not going to try and dipsy-do around you. They're probably just put it down or try and put a shot through. But he can do anything. He can take it down the strong side. He can do a 360 and take it out his backhand. You just never know what he's going to do. So I think that's probably the strongest facet of his game. I haven't watched him a ton, to be honest, when we're not playing him. So I'll just say that.
Just one last question. Connor's face-offs are improving every year. Have you noticed obviously the star players, Crosby wasn't very good when he came into the league, and the star players, that's one last piece of the puzzle, perhaps, making sure you win the face-offs as well?
Yeah, I think as you get older and he's been in the league longer, you realize and figure out a little bit what it takes to win a face-off, and the detail and the strength is probably coming into it there as well. But it's just figuring out, the nuances of a face-off and, buddying up the linesman a little bit too, and making sure that you're not. As a young guy, you laugh, but guys laugh there. But it's as a young guy, you come in and you're not getting any breaks there from a linesman. So as you get older and a little better reputation with them, they're going to help you out a little bit too. But I know I spoke with Connor when I first got here. He's been working on his face-offs every off season. So I think that's something that he's put into place. He's worked on it and it's gotten better, and he continues to get better. So it's good.
Thank you.
Derek, just one question over here on your left. I know the focus is on the day-to-day, but you guys are playing in a market that loves its team and is craving a playoff success or a long playoff run. How have you guys kind of embraced that challenge, and do you guys kind of feel it being around the city?
Yeah, definitely feel it around the rink. There's a buzz around the rink every home game, the last little bit. You can tell the fans want that, and I mean, I don't think it's a secret. We want that too. That's why we're here. That's why I came here, and that's why every guy in that dressing room is playing, is to have playoff success. And obviously, we have to get there first, and we'll take it day by day once we do get there. But I just want to say we all want that too. It's not like we just want the regular season success and then check out and go home for the summer. We're competitors. We're professional athletes. We play at the highest level, and we want to win a cup, and that's why everyone's here.